the teaching into his presence would I enter now. There is a silence into which the world cannot intrude. There is an ancient peace you carry in your heart and have not lost. There is a sense of holiness in you the thought of sin has never touched. All this today you will remember. Faithfulness in practicing today will bring rewards so great and so completely different from all things you saw before that you will know that here your treasure is and here you rest. This is the simple choice we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who chose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find they were mistaken in their choice. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so. And so they need a teacher who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. If truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality. And they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world, and they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they do not understand. Between these paths, there is another road that leads away from loss of every kind, and for sacrifice and deprivation, both are quickly left behind. This is the way I point for you now. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus can you serve them while you serve yourself, and set their footsteps on the way that God has opened up to you, and then through you. Illusions still appear to cling to you, that you may reach them. Yet, it has stepped back. Illusion still appears to cling to you, that you may reach them. Yet, it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion that you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. Nor can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusions, for the road leads past illusion now, while on the way you call to them that they may follow you. All roads will lead to this one in the end, for sacrifice and deprivation are paths that lead to nowhere. Choices for defeat and aims that will remain impossible. All this steps back as truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the ways of death and set them on the way to happiness. Their suffering is but illusion. Yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusion for truth. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you, and you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth and let illusions be your guide. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you, and you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth and let illusions be your guide. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now, that they may see something with which they can identify, something they understand, to lead the way. Such is your resurrection, for your life is not part of anything you see. It stands beyond the body and beyond the world, past every witness of unholiness, within the holy, holy as itself. In everyone and everything, His voice would speak to you of nothing but yourself and your Creator, who is one with Him. So will you see the holy face of Christ in everything, and hear in everything no sound except the echo of God's voice. Give Him your thoughts, and He will give them back as miracles, which joyously proclaim the holiness and the happiness God wills His Son, as proof of His eternal love. And as each thought is thus transformed, it takes on healing power from the mind which saw the truth in it and failed to be deceived by what was falsely added. All the threads of fantasy are gone, and what remains is unified into a perfect thought that offers its perfection everywhere. Such is your Easter side, and you lay the gift of snow-white lilies on the gold, replacing witnesses to sin and death. Through your transfiguration is the whole redeemed and joyfully released from guilt. Now do we lift our resurrected minds in gladness and in gratitude to Him who restored our sanity to us. Thank you, Christ. Brother, this day is sacred to the world. Your vision, battery overheat, it's a bit hot. Brother, this day is sacred to the world. Your vision, given you from far beyond all things within the world, looks back on them in a new light. And what you see becomes the healing and salvation of the world. The valuable and the valueless are both perceived and recognized for what they are. And what is worthy of your love receives your love, while nothing to be feared remains. Open the curtain in your practicing by merely letting go all things you think you want. Your trifling treasures put away, and leave and clean an open space within your mind where Christ can come and offer you the treasure of salvation. He has need of your most holy mind to save the world. Is not this purpose worthy to be yours? Is not Christ's vision worthy to be sought above the world's unsatisfying goals? Now do we live, for now we cannot die. The wish for death is answered, and the sight that looked upon it now has been replaced by vision, which perceives that you are not what you pretend to be. One walks with you, who gently answers all your fear with this one merciful reply: "It is not so." He points to all the gifts you have. Each time the thought of poverty oppresses you, and speaks of His companionship when you perceive yourself as lonely and afraid. Yet, He reminds you of still one more thing that you have forgotten, for His touch on you has made you like Himself. The gifts you have are not for you alone. What He has come to offer you, you now must learn to give. This is the lesson that his giving holds, for he has saved you from the solitude you sought to make in which to hide from God. He has remembered, he has reminded you all the gifts, he has reminded you all the gifts that God has given you. He speaks as well of what becomes your will when you accept these gifts and recognize them as your own. The gifts the gifts are yours, entrusted to your care, to give all those who chose the lonely road that you have escaped. They do not understand, they but pursue their wishes. It is you who teach them now. For you have learned of Christ, there is another way for them to walk. Teach them by showing them the happiness that comes to those who feel the touch of Christ and recognize God's gifts. Let not sorrow tempt you. Let not sorrow tempt you to be unfaithful in your trust. Now is all doubting past, the journey's end made certain, and salvation given you. Now is all doubting past, the journey's end made certain, and salvation given you. Now is Christ's power in your mind to heal as you were healed. For now you are among the saviors of the world. Your destiny lies there and nowhere else. Would God consent to let his son remain forever starved by his denial of the nourishment he needs to live? Abundance dwells in him, and deprivation cannot cut him off from God's sustaining love and from his home. We walk to God. Pause and reflect to this. Could any way be holier or more deserving of your effort, of your love, and of your full intent? What way could give you more than everything, or offer less and still content the Holy Son of God? We walk to God. The truth that walks before us now is one with Him and leads us to where He has always been. What way but this could be a path that you choose instead? Your feet are safely set upon the road that leads the world to God. Look not to ways that seems to lead you anywhere, elsewhere. Dreams are not worthy guides for you who are God's son. Forget not, He has placed His hand in yours and given you your brothers in His trust, that you are worthy of His trust in you. He cannot be deceived. His trust has made your pathway certain and your goal secure. You will not fail your brothers nor yourself. You have another dedication that would keep the body incorruptible and perfect as long as it is useful for your holy purpose. The body no more dies than it can fail. It does nothing. Of itself it is neither corruptible nor incorruptible. It is nothing. It is the result of a tiny mad idea of corruption that can be corrected. For God has answered this insane idea with His own, an answer which left Him not, and therefore brings the Creator to the awareness of every mind which heard His answer and accepted it. You, who are dedicated to the incorruptible, have been given through your acceptance the power to release from corruption. What better way is there to teach the first and fundamental principle in a course on miracles than by showing you the one that seems to be the hardest can be accomplished first. The body can but serve your purpose. As you look on it, so will it seem to be. Death, were it true, would be the final and complete disruption of communication, which is the ego's goal. But with the Christ vision, you see only the eternal.